What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have something pretty darn brief to discuss. At least it made an appearance at the Capcom event, right? And it's simply that Resident Evil 9 was confirmed to be happening, and that's it. I mean, for as quickly as you can say it, it ends. So this was, again, during the Capcom event. We got a nice little kind of fly-in response, and it came from the director of RE7, and he had directed a few other things before, and he also worked on Resident Evil 5. What I actually find interesting, and more interesting than even the words that he said, is kind of to kind of back up the things that we've heard about Resident Evil 9, about some potential characters that we will or maybe will not be playing as, and the idea that we've even heard behind the scenes, right? Resident Evil 9 was maybe supposed to be Resident Evil 8, right? After 7, they started developing 9 and, kind of got behind track or whatever, and this was the rumor. And then they jumped to, a different team, jumped to Resident Evil Village, what we now know of as Resident Evil Village. Based off of the comments and the man that's being the director, or that is the director, I feel like that is actually accurate. So I don't know, it's something to keep in the back of your mind where, again, it's maybe even more interesting than what we actually heard, because what we heard is they're making the next Resident Evil game. They can't say anything about it, but they're excited for the day that they can, or they hope that we are excited for the day that they are able to actually talk about Resident Evil 9. So, again, biggest thing to me is, where does this fit in the timeline? Are we going back to like the Leons and things like that? I'd always said maybe you go back to Chris Redfield, especially after maybe Village ended. But again, if you go based off the rumors, I think there's rumors that would indicate that's going to be like a Leon, maybe a Claire type thing, maybe even Ada Wong, right? I feel like that kind of maybe is more accurate, as time is going on. And then the second part to it, of course, is, well, I mean, at some point, it's also kind of a joke that, you swoop in. It's actually very sad also to see no Pragmata, right? Now, we knew that. We knew there'd be no Pragmata, but, with the focus on the 3 games that Capcom did, I didn't expect them to say anything about Resident Evil 9 either, but then they did. So Pragmata just completely skips. Resident Evil 9, you get the confirmation. Now, as I've said before, right, I think all the rumors would, again, lead you down this road. This is an example of a game that I do not think is going to take 3, 4, 5 years, right? This is not a man who is being forced on camera to say, hey, we just started making this game and we'll see you all in half a decade when we can show the first trailer. No, I think this is, they're aware. They might even be close. They're just not ready yet. So they're going to put out this, public service announcement, and then hopeful, and this is what I really hope for, right? Because I've linked at least Pragmata and Resident Evil 9 kind of together, that you can make a killer Capcom show if you show both of those in a substantial way at the same time. So hopefully what this means is that you just really fast forward to next year. You got to be patient. You got to give them a whole nother year. At least my prediction would be that. And then you would see Pragmata, and then you would see Resident Evil 9. But specifically on the Resident Evil 9, territory, I don't think it's an example that, you're not going to see this man and you're not going to see the team or anything like that for 3, 4 more years. No, I think the game gets shown off next year, and I would not be surprised if the game were to, I mean, we've done this before, right? You look at when they announce it and show it off to when it comes out. It's normally within a year. It's anywhere between, I think, 6 to 9 months, actually, is the real timeline. So if they show it off next summer, that thing could be coming out January of 2026, which I know sounds far. It's a year and a half. Not too far, you know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, but that's some of my early predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.